Okay, one of the quickest, one of the simplest, one of the best, most powerful ways to subtract mixed numbers from each other is to first change them into improper fractions. Improper fractions. Right now you can see it's a mixed number which consists of a whole number with a fraction, whole number with a fraction. And if you want to subtract them, first and foremost, change them into improper fractions. Now you might be thinking, why do we do that? We don't have to do it for addition of mixed numbers, but here we do. Why? Because sometimes, not on this occasion, but sometimes the fraction on the left is smaller than the fraction on the right, and that way it makes things complicated. So to make it easy, let's always change these guys into improper fractions, and then we subtract. So we're going to take it in 3 simple steps. Number 1, change these mixed numbers into improper fractions, as I said earlier. Number 2, we're going to subtract them. And then number 3, we're going to simplify and get our answer. So let's go ahead and change these guys into improper fractions. Let's have a look here. We have 4.5. How do we change that? Well, what we do is we multiply the whole number to the denominator. So it's 4 times 2, and then we add that to the numerator up the top, which is 1. So let's go ahead and do that. So 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So on the top it's going to be 9, and the bottom stays the same, so we'll just put it as 2. It's the same denominator. 2 gets dragged down. So again, 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. All right, put the subtraction sign right there. Drag and drop it right there. Let's do the same process. Change it to improper. 2 times 10 is 20, plus 1 is 21. So it's 21 as the numerator. And down below, we put the same 10. Drag and drop the 10 right there. I'll repeat it one more time. 2 times 10, multiply, is 20, plus 1, we add the numerator, is 21. There's our 21. Okay, now all we have to do is find the lowest common denominator between 2 and 10. Now to get that, it's pretty easy because we can see that 10 is the lowest common denominator. How do we know? Because 10 goes in itself once, and 2 divides into the 10. So we'll take 10 as the lowest common denominator. So let's put it here, 10. Okay, now what we do is we take the denominator here, number 2, and we divide it into the 10. So 10 divided by 2 is what? 10 divided by 2 is 5, isn't it? So we take a 5 and we put it up here, next to the numerator. And then we divide 10 into 10. Well, 10 into itself is 1. So we take that 1 and we put it up here. Now all we have to do is multiply these guys here. 5 times 9 is 45. So we write 45 right there. And 1 times 21 is 21 right there. Drag and drop the minus right there because it's still subtraction, like that. And now all we have to do is 45 take away 21. So 45 take away 21 is 24. So that equals 24 all over 10. Drag and drop the 10 right over there. Now, it's an improper fraction, which is fine. Now we have to divide the bottom to the top so we can change it into a proper fraction. So what's 24 divided by 10? In other words, 10 into 24. Well, 10 goes into 24 how many times? 2, because that's 20. We subtract it and we're left with a remainder of 4, so that's remainder 4. So how do we write it here? So 10 into 24 goes in 2 times, so that's the whole number, 2. Goes in 2 times. Remainder 4, there's a remainder, that goes as the numerator, and down below the 10 stays the same under there. So it's 2 and 4/10. Now we can further simplify that. The 4/10 part, we can simplify that by dividing top and bottom by what? Well, dividing by 2. If I divide the top by 2, you also do the same to the bottom. Divide the bottom by 2. So the 4 divided by 2 turns into a what? That turns into a 2, so the top becomes 2. And 10 divided by 2, that's 5, isn't it? 5. So that's the denominator. Drag and drop the 2 down here from there, bring down the 2. So the answer is 2 and 2/5. There you go.